All right, hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's topic is building confidence, something everyone wants, but few people know how to actually develop. How the solo podcast works is simple. I pick a topic, I get some structure from ChatGPT, and then I share my own thoughts and experiences around the question. Hopefully, I have this memorized soon. I'm still working on my skills, and this is something I'm doing to build confidence for myself around public speaking and speaking in front of the camera alone when there's no one around. So let's get right into it. Question number one. Why do so many people struggle with confidence? Most people think confidence comes before action, but it's actually the opposite. You build confidence by doing things you're unsure of, not by waiting to feel ready. Common confidence blockers: fear of judgment, comparing yourself to others, expecting perfection, not keeping promises to yourself. Confidence grows when your actions start matching the identity you want to build. So, why do so many people struggle with confidence? I think that having a bit of a negative attitude, and I'm being pretty pinpointed here. It was a great example of this. I would say my wife is one of the toughest students to kind of coach and mentor when it comes to trying to help with self-doubt, with confidence, struggling with anxiety and all these different things. But what I found the most interesting is that there's always, and I'm going to use, for lack of a better term, an excuse. Why? Or there's this feeling of you're already projecting the negative things that stop you from doing what you want to do instead of saying that you can do something. So having this negative mindset of I can't do this, I've never been able to do this, I won't be able, this is just how I know myself really well, this is just how I operate, this is just how I function, I've never this, I've never that. If you were to change that and just lie to yourself, just lie, just say, I am this, I am that, I can do this, I can do that. Now, I know this is really tough for folks that don't have confidence, and it's like, oh yeah, well, this is much easier said than done. And absolutely it is. But so let's use a specific example. I hyperfixate, for example. If you hyperfixate on something, just say, I don't. And then when you're doing it, when it happens, right, you're going to say, I don't hyperfixate. Right? And then you stop yourself in the act once you recognize that you're doing it. And then slowly over time, it's going to stop happening slowly and slowly and slowly, because you're telling yourself that you don't do that. And you're slowly starting to gain the callus in your brain to be able to control your own thoughts and the things that you can control. And obviously there are some things that I'm not a psychologist or a doctor. I'm sure there's some things that actually do require medication, but we're talking about building confidence here. And so believing in yourself. So taking action is going to be the biggest thing that you can do. And you have to believe in yourself before, like, you have to just start doing the thing that you want to do, right? I want to go to the gym more and I don't have the confidence because people are looking at me and I'm scrawny or I'm fat or whatever it is. You have to just go to the gym and stop thinking about what other people are thinking of you, because quite frankly, it doesn't matter what people think of you. Who cares? And everyone's opinion of you and anything that anyone thinks of you has no direct impact on your life. You can't control your own thoughts, let alone the thoughts of everyone around you. So stop caring what people think, because there's no value. What ends up happening is you become a slave. You become a prisoner to people's thoughts. And then you walk around and you do things in public and you're afraid to do them because you're afraid of what people are going to think of you. But that doesn't matter, because those thoughts are not going to physically pull you in a direction or another, but you're allowing that to happen. So stop thinking about what other people think of you, right? All of us were just tiny, tiny, tiny pawns in this giant game of chess, and no one cares about us, right? We shouldn't care either about the small things. Like if your friend thinks that it's a bad idea to do something because, they have an opinion, right? Yeah, thank you, friend. I appreciate your opinion, right? but this is me, this is my life, and I'm going to do what's going to directly impact my life. If it's not going to hurt you, it's not going to hurt anyone's feelings. It shouldn't hurt anyone's feelings. I'm just going to do it. And that's going to make me comfortable doing things, right? So we get ourselves to the quote of the day. This is from Zig Ziglar. I'll put some information on whoever that is in the top here. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to become great. And I think that's super cool. Like, I've never read that quote before. This is new to me too. But that's so cool to hear. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to become great. And I think that resonates with me in a sense that sometimes you look at someone's success and you think that it was overnight success, right? That happens all the time. So if that person never took the actions to become great, they would never be great, right? Tell me, what's one thing that you've been avoiding because you don't feel ready? And what's interesting just about this topic in general is that I'm sitting here in front of you, afraid to have this conversation and be myself on the internet. And it's challenging just for me to sit here in my room alone, staring into a lens. But what I'm doing is I'm trying my best to start doing something so I can become great at it, because right now this is my first few videos. I'm not very good at talking in front of the camera alone. It's not easy, and I'm slowly working on a skill to develop myself. And if I kept saying that I'll never be ready, I need to practice more, well, this is my practice right now. This is me putting it into action, and I'm hoping that with the compounding effect of just action, I will, develop and end up being great at something. So let's get back into the questions here. What's the simplest way to start building confidence? Start with small wins. Confidence is built by proving to yourself repeatedly that you follow through. Example, a daily walk, one hard conversation, doing the task you've been avoiding, showing up when you say you will. Small wins compound. Big confidence is built from tiny commitments done consistently. So now, even in the last episode, we talked about doing small things to get yourself, kind of get the ball rolling in weight loss, to get yourself to make these larger changes. But if you do small changes slowly, you're going to build up this big snowball of momentum, and you're going to crush your goals. So, I really like that the small wins compound. Like, big confidence is built from tiny commitments done consistently. I feel like when I first started, I really like using running references. I'm sorry. But when I started running, I ran like 2.5K, and it was the hardest thing in my life. And my Garmin told me that it was a VO2 max workout, like the highest of intensities. And if I continued at that pace, it would have been like a 37-minute 5K. Like, for me, I guess at the time, that's a good job. I got myself out the door. But now when I look at it and I look at the compounding effect of the confidence, that doing a run like that, the 2.5K, I mean, that would take me 10 minutes now to, 12 minutes, because my running economy, all of these things have developed over time. But it's the fact that I even got out there the first time and just did it. Even that was a small win for me. And so I knew I was able to do it. I set the baseline for myself, and then I continued to do it, and I continued to push the boundaries. And I said, okay, it took me 18 minutes to do this 2.5K last time. Let's see if I can do it in the same speed or faster. And then it was the same thing, not every day, but same thing after rest, over and over and over, as weeks and months went by. And now I'm in really good shape. And that's the same thing with confidence, is that once you start to do the thing that you're afraid of doing, even though you're still afraid of it, just like what I'm doing right now, you're slowly going to start gaining momentum, and you're going to be able to do it more often because you're staring fear in the face, right? I think that's the big part of this second question here, is that the small wins do compound. And into our last question, what mindset shift helps people become more confident long term? Stop aiming to be fearless, aim to be courageous. Courage means acting despite the fear, not waiting for it to disappear. People with real confidence still feel doubt. I think this falls right where I am. People with real confidence still feel doubt. I definitely feel doubt. Whenever I do anything, even though I'm super confident at it now, it's taken a lot of time, there is a little bit of doubt. I still also like, oh no, I wonder what this guy's thinking. But then I have to kind of go like, you know what? Actually, I don't care what he thinks. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But I have to reel myself in too. Sorry. People with real confidence still feel doubt. They just don't let it control them. When you shift from I need confidence first to confidence comes from reps, everything changes. So another thing, like even in indoor rock climbing, because I do a lot of that, there's a climb that you see a really skillful person get on and they're struggling with it. So I've had multiple times where I go up and I'm like, ugh. I mean, if he can't do it, there's no way I could, right? So there's doubt there. But you know what? Screw it. I'm going to give it a shot. Who cares if I fall off? It doesn't matter. I'm going to try it. And if I fall off, I fall off. And maybe I might learn something about falling off, because at the end of the day, if you don't fail, you're not learning as much as when you succeed. That's how I see it. Like if you're not challenging yourself, you're not necessarily going to improve, because there's no baseline to improve from if you're succeeding all the time. Right? Like you have to have some comparison. So when I do anything and I fail at it, I kind of take a back seat and I go, okay, let's reflect on the scenario and why I failed. Let's dissect it and see what I could do better to succeed, and try it again, but not try the same thing. Try from a different angle and see from a different perspective. So that's all for today's episode. If that helped at all, hit the like and subscribe, and maybe let me know in the comment section if there's another topic you guys want me to talk about. Once again, I want this channel, I want this podcast for a couple reasons. A, to build up my level of confidence while speaking on camera freely, and B, to provide value to whoever wants to watch it. And a big thing about that is I know that it takes some time for people I know that sometimes you can hear the same message from 100, 1,000 different people and it just doesn't sink in. And sometimes it takes just one person to say that message the way that you want to hear it, or from the right person, in order for that message to sink in. So I hope you really enjoyed the channel. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you at the next one.